Okay, Marlene, John, thank you both for calling me and having me come here to work with you and Mullen. He's a darling little guy. He is wound up, isn't he? I figure. So, having me here, tell me, how can I help you?
Well, I got Mullen 2 days after I had to put my schnauzer down.
So,
Had not planned to get a dog, but I went to the Humane Society and I started to cry. And I leaned over the thing and he licked me on my face and I said, "You have a home."
okay.
Very intelligent dog, but he extra energetic.
High strung?
Very. I walk him a mile every day, and we play in the fence a few times a day.
It's a beautiful yard here.
Thank you. And he responds to that, but when other people come around, besides my husband and I, he gets a little hyper.
Okay.
And I would just like help in calming him so that he won't jump on people. You know, we are not young.
Right.
And I'm afraid if he gets larger, he might jump on us, which would, if either one of us down, then we'd have to hire somebody to come take care of him.
Right. He's a little mouthy too. Have you noticed that on you?
Yes. And you might notice on the furniture, the sofa is chewed, the cushion is chewed.
So tell me, and Marlene, I really want you to get in touch with the feeling. So when he is jumping on people that are over here, or mouthing you, or chewing on your furniture, and all of that, how does it make you feel?
My first response is a loud no, and so I've been bringing my nose down. I said no, but now I'm trying to bring my nose down to Mullen, no, come to mommy, calm down.
So when I asked you about your feelings, you told me what you do. I want you, how does it, and this will all make sense in a minute, but when he's chewing on me, or he's chewing on the furniture, or he's jumping, which it sounds like you've got a little bit of fear associated with what could happen. Tell me about your feeling. Get in touch with that feeling.
I sometimes feel that maybe I judged what I was capable of handling.
Okay.
And had dogs all of my life. And people keep telling me I was too old for a puppy. But I don't think so. But Mullen makes me wonder if maybe they were right.
Okay. So sometimes his antics can cause you to have self-doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say a lack of confidence?
Yeah.
In the
what I
decision?
can handle at my age.
Okay. That is the perfect answer, and thank you for getting in touch with that, because the way the trust technique works is if we bring our thinking down. So I asked you about feelings, because thinking creates feelings.
Right.
Feelings create emotions. Emotions create reactions. That's the way the line works. So the busier he gets, Mullen gets, the higher his thinking is. The more he thinks he's got to do something about the way he feels, and then he has a reaction. Okay? And very similar to when he is doing something that makes you wonder, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Just went off.
Huh?
This just went off.
I got
Oh,
it.
it's back. Okay, it's back on.
So when he's doing those things and you're wondering, oh my gosh, what have I done? Your thinking goes up, his goes up, because animals and humans share feelings, okay? The good news is, and I think this is beautiful, if you will notice, when we all sat down and we got calm, and you and I started talking, and I got you to really just focus in on that feeling that you were having, and not on what he was doing. Look at what he did. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to teach you today how to bring your mind down so that it helps him. We're going to actually guide him down into a calm state. And the way we're going to do that, the way the trust technique works, is humans and animals, like animals react to humans. We react to them. So we talked about he's doing something, we yell no, we try to stop it, and we're doing and doing. The more we do, the more he does. That thing, the very beginning, which I loved, is that you were not going to get another dog, and you went to do your shift, and he kissed you. That is just the law of attraction. So when you think to yourself, I've got more dog than I can handle at my age, I truly believe that the universe has given you the dog that you need right now at your age. Okay? I mean, that's just my faith. That's what I feel. And I feel that underneath your self-doubt, you know that you have the confidence. You just need a little help with some skill set. Yeah, and you've got this.
I just feel like that. I'm just amazed at his relationship with my husband.
Okay, tell me about that.
My husband has onset dementia, and he walked in the house and he jumped on the sofa and started chewing my hair. Mullen did, but he went over to him and laid down, threw his feet in the air. My husband rubbed his stomach, and it was over. They've been buddies ever since.
So, case in point, I mean, that is the perfect example of we react to animals, animals react to us. So I'm going to guess, based on how the trust technique and thinking works, you were having probably, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, having thoughts about what's he going to do when he comes in the house, and John's sitting there, and how's he going to react? And he came over and bit your hair, but he felt John's calmness. Like you were just like, okay, here comes the dog. You weren't overthinking what's going to happen or any of that. And he went right over and laid down next to that calmness. So that is a perfect example of how we share thoughts and feelings, and thinking levels create situations that where our dogs overreact, which then causes us to overreact. Okay? You're doing fine, by the way. You are like spot on with sharing the information that's going to help us with this little guy.
I'm just amazed if he's... Can you believe it?
Well, so you know, when I come in the house, I kind of bring a little bit of calm. Like I don't worry about what Mullen's doing, and Mullen knows it. It's like, look at this guy. So he's going to be very responsive. So what will happen is I'm going to do it first and let you see it happen. He's already started doing it. I'm going to do a demonstration of the trust technique. It is so simple, yet so impactful. And then after that, I'm going to teach you, and I'll even teach you, John, how to do it. Okay? And what that does is it helps guide his overthinking down to a level where rational thinking comes in. And you know, if you're
You
thinking,
just lost your. Okay, it's
It's
good
back
now.
on.
okay, so when rational thinking, when his mind is down at a 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say on a scale of 10, that's all functional. He can make good choices. But when his thinking gets really high, something triggers him, and he goes 5, 6, 7, he's going to start acting out. And then sometimes that just feels good, you know, because he doesn't know what to do with that energy. And then he's dinging off the walls. So he's in 10, he can't hear you. So let me show you. So I'm going to demonstrate. As you can see, we have a leash on this little guy. He looks like he's really, really happy to be able to just rest the way he is. So I'm going to get him up because I'm going to get him from a higher thinking level, and I'm going to do a demonstration. I'm not going to be ignoring you two, but I'm only going to be focusing on him. So I'm not going to be talking. And what I'm going to do is something called creative reaction. And that's made up of 2 pieces. The present moment, which is I'm going to go into the present moment. And we're going to see how he responds to it. We're already seeing some of it now. Okay? So I'm going to get him up, which means that's going to bring his thinking level up. And then through my thinking and my stillness in the present moment, which I'll talk to you more about, I'm going to bring his mind back down. Okay? Now, you may see some releasing of anxiety or anything that's bad that's happened to him in his life that makes him over exuberant about people, about anything.
He's had a bad experience because I have to take a stick with me to take him for a walk because we have the fox ran across us and the coyote and all of that. And so I carry him, and he's frightened of. So he's been hit or something before, or reprimanded.
Oh, okay.
Before.
Okay. So what happens is I'm going to be building this space, if you will, a connection with him that's all about peace. Peace and unpeace can't be in the same body at the same time. So we may see him as he accepts and gets into my feeling of no thinking. We may see him release. That may be yawning, licking, grooming, pacing, and I'm going to just let him do that. And I'm going to mindfully regard that he needs to let go of the unpeace so that he can receive more peace. Okay? So I'm going to do my part now. Hi, Marlon. Come here, bub. Hi, I know. Okay, so I'm going to... Marlon. I know you would. So... Marlon, sit. he loves the feeling. And you see that? He loves what he's feeling.
Yeah. Will he do that without the leash?
He will. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
Big sigh. Nice release.
It's off.
No, it's still going. I can see the red light.
I don't see anything on here.
It should be all right.
It's dark.
It's okay. Okay, so his thinking level went from about a 10, jumping all over me, biting my hands, biting at the leash, pretty much overreacting about me, to he's about a 2 or a 1. And all I did was brought my thinking down. I created stillness. So when we talk about the present moment, I went into right here, right now. So I wasn't thinking about yesterday or tomorrow or the camera or anything else. Just the only thought that I was having was created stillness, so the only thing that was moving were my lungs and my eyes blinking.
And he responded.
And look how beautifully he responded. That's called creative reaction. So I did, and you're going to do it in a minute, created, I call it the golden orb, this peaceful space, and we give him the opportunity to respond to it. Any animal, be it a human, be it you, me, a dog, if they have a choice between peace or chaos, they're going to choose peace every time. It's just that a lot of times he's just rolling into it big now. I'm going to go back into it.
He's gone.
Let me roll one big release. Let me go back in a couple more times. See that deep twitching? That is he's releasing deep fear and anxiety. The twitching is always a great thing to see.
I just love seeing him this calm and at a peace.
It's
I want him to be happy, and he's like,
yeah.
And he starts to pant and everything. Then I'm running with his.
Okay. So you see the impact, and now he and I have a very new, very authentic connection. There's no food in between it. There's nothing but pure, authentic peace and love for this animal, and he knows that. So what I'd like to do is we're just going to leave him where he is, and I'm going to teach you how to do this.
Okay.
Okay, it is really simple. I would like for you to start. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm turning it up a little bit.
Okay. I'll talk a little bit.
No, that's okay.
So, when you first start, to answer your question, I do want you to put the leash on, because the leash usually brings their thinking up. Okay? And you heard me ask him gently. I didn't tell him, I asked him. Just a gentle ask. I did that twice. If he's not able to do it, that's okay. Go right into the present moment. Okay? And the present moment, what I was doing, very, very simple. I chose a spot on the floor. You could use the wall, but I chose on the floor. I want him, you're going to want him in your peripheral so you can see how he's responding. So I'm not looking at him. I'm looking past him, but he's in my peripherals. I usually put my hands together in a peripheral position, because when there's no thinking, that's when your higher power comes in. That's when pure peace comes in. So I put my hands together. I focus on that spot so hard that it almost blurs. I don't move, I play statue. And I repeat in my mind, Mullen, be peaceful. Mullen, be peaceful. That's all I do. And he loved it. Okay? So now, I'm going to get you to do it. And we'll just leave him where he is. He's in a really good state. He's letting go. So what you'll do is you would get his leash, put his leash on him, sit down, get very comfortable, and we'll want you to do this right now. So you're going to get very comfortable. Pretend you have the leash. Look, pick you a spot on the floor or on the wall. You're going to play statue. And for 30 seconds, and I'll count it out for you, you're going to think, Mom, be peaceful, with no movement. Go ahead and start. When you come out of the thinking, you just sort of come out. You don't start thinking again. You just sort of move your head, check in on him, see how he's doing. If his head is still down, go right back in, pick your spot. For 30 seconds. Go back in, so pick your spot. Marlene, I have a question for you. What did you do yesterday?
You know, exercising.
Okay. Did you notice that it took you a little while to think about what you did yesterday?
Yeah.
That is beautiful, because what that showed me is that you were indeed in the present moment, right here, right now. It took you a minute to access yesterday.
Couldn't think of.
That's okay. So, and again, that makes me feel really good about how well you're doing the mechanics of this, or just connecting with him in the right here, right now. Because when you're here and now, the only place you can be is at peace and focused on your animal. That is the purest, most authentic connection you can have. When you're right here, right now, you're not in the past, because the past usually has a lot of regrets. And you're not in the future, because that usually has a lot of what ifs. There's fear associated with the future. Right here, right now, is where you access true peace. Okay? Peace of mind. And every social being wants peace of mind. And we don't often give it to ourselves. We're busy running from one place to another, doing one thing or another. But look at the beautiful effect it has on Mama. And it's as simple as sitting down. Now, remember I was saying hold it for 30 seconds? That is about 7 deep breaths in and out.
Okay.
So what I'm going to have you do is you go in, see if, and I don't expect you to know what 30 seconds is because it feels really long when you first start doing it.
It does.
Yeah,
When
it
you
does
don't
feel like a
realize
long
how
time.
it is.
That's because we're so busy that,
Yeah.
you know, but when you sit down and you join your animal, 30 seconds is, and we pulse it in 30 seconds and then come out. The reason we do that is because if he wasn't ready for the piece and it was such a new feeling to him, he would be up and moving around. And if we kept trying to push it, it might push him away. If you've ever had a massage and they get on a spot and they go, oh, this is tight, and they keep rubbing it, and you just want to say, stop, stop doing that. That would be what would happen if we didn't mindfully regard. So remember I said the creative reaction is creating this peaceful space and then regarding how he's responding to it. So if his head came up, that would mean he had a thought. Okay? If he got up and needed to groom or lick or yawn or any of that, you would come out of it and just hold the space. Not thinking, be peaceful, but you're just going to sit here and wait for him to process that out so that you can join him again in the present moment and put in some more peace. Okay?
I'm just overwhelmed right now at him.
Well, it was the three of us, because I could tell all three of our minds were thinking, be peaceful, Mullen, be peaceful.
Because I want to have a good life, good home.
He does. He does. And this is a tool that, honestly, I believe every animal owner should have. Because before you can start training or them even really learning the habits of the house, they've got to have a lower mindset so that they can think rationally.
Right.
And I mean, if you were to make a noise in there when I first came in with his high thinking, he probably would have gone right in there and yapped at it or barked at it or jumped up at it. Right now, you could probably make a noise in the other room and he'd go, yeah, I don't need to do anything about that. And this is how we help them let go of the unpeace that keeps them so hyperactive. Okay? So, Marlene, I want you to pick your spot. Now you're going to tell me when you're going in and when you're coming out. In 30 seconds, like I said, is about 7 deep breaths in and out. And try not to move your fingers. You're going to play statue. So you tell me when.
Tell her when.
Are you in, Marlene?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me when you're coming out.
Okay.
Did you feel that was 30 seconds?
But I came out of it because this is what I used to go to sleep at night because I have a hard time sleeping.
Okay.
And so I do the breathing and stuff and I was drifting off.
Oh, okay. That's okay. You were joining. Now, his head's up.
Okay.
We're probably going to see a big stretch.
But he's still calmer than he was.
Absolutely. You can't go from 0 to 10. He's going to lay back down and want to go. Let's go back in. There was the big sigh. A lot of release coming from this dog, which is excellent. That's healing. Rolling back in deep. Go ahead, Marlene. Coming out. Good. So, did you find that other thoughts were trying to come in?
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. Let me tell you how to stay in the present moment, because thoughts are going to always come in and they'll go right back out. Okay, that's just the way our mind works. There's a difference between having a thought and thinking. Okay, so let's say I was here working with Mullen, who's doing great. He's having big tremors. Yeah, look at him.
Oh, yeah.
Just really. And I saw a deer. Okay, I'm sitting here. I saw a deer in the backyard, and I thought, oh, deer. Let it go. Went right back into Mullen, be peaceful. Mullen, be peaceful. That's a thought. So the thought came in, there's a deer. But sometimes I even write deer. Let it go.
Yeah.
Focus right back on Mullen, be peaceful. If that's a thought. If the deer had come through the backyard and I said, my mind said, oh, there's a deer. Oh, I wonder if he's going to eat her beautiful rhododendrons, or if Mullen's going to change.
Yeah.
That's thinking. That when you engage in a thought, that's thinking. So what you do is when you're doing this, you recognize the thought, oh, there's a thought,
Yeah.
a bite.
Okay.
And you go right back focused on your animal. The beautiful thing about this, as you can see, is you only need yourself.
Yeah.
Because, and think about yourself. Yourself is your flesh and blood. You know, you have your physical self, your emotional self, and your spiritual self. So your emotional self is the self that's tied to all the thinking. The physical, of course, is your blood, flesh and bones. The spiritual self is the gap in thinking. And when you give yourself time to let in the spiritual, that gap in thinking that's focused just on a healing protocol for your animal, that's all you need. It's just you and the present moment, which also includes creative reaction, which includes present moment and mindful regard. So when he got up and came over to me, that we just regarded him. Like I didn't think, oh, your thinking's going on, just let him do. So he had a thought that he came over and needed to work out. And then he went right back, and I regarded that. It's like, okay, buddy, I know you have a thought. I I'm not touching, I don't touch him, I don't talk to him, and you're not either. No touching, no talking while you're doing this. Because touching brings an animal's mind up. Looking them in the eye brings their mind up.
Yeah.
So you're going to do
no touching,
no talking, no looking in the eye. So when you do regarding, you're sort of going to regard his back end. Okay? And just think about what a beautiful animal he is. Let him process out like he did with me.
right.
And then he went right back for the piece. He wanted
Right
more of it.
Might be the calmest I've seen him in a month.
That's amazing. So do you have any questions?
I'm just amazed right now.
That's okay.
But because I think it's going to help us too, not just Mullen. It's going to.
Yeah, I will tell you, it has changed my life. Being able to let myself stop and focus on my animal. And I have one who's very, very reactive. But we're so busy doing that we don't just be. And it's funny how Joyce Meyer says, we're human beings, not human doings. So when we give ourselves time to join our animals in not doing, just being right here, right now, bringing peace in between the two of us. The end product of this is trust in you and cooperation. Because nobody else gives him this feeling. You are going to build up such a relationship with Mullen that's going to be based on pure, authentic, this connection that you have that nobody else is going to have. You could offer him a treat, you could offer him food. He would choose peace over that anytime. So what I'm going to want you to do is do this with Mullen 3 times a day for about 10 minutes. Okay? So during that 10 minutes, you will, I'm repeating because sometimes it's hard to take it all in the first time. You're going to have him on a leash. You're going to ask him gently to sit, not command him, but ask him. If he can't, then you're just going to get your position, play statue, pick a spot on the rug, or just past wherever he is so that he's in your peripherals. You're going to watch that spot until you're going to focus so hard on it that it almost blurs. And you're going to hold that for about 30 seconds, come out, look around, check on him. If he's still there, you go right back in. Notice the release because he's letting a lot go. So I would like to come back next week.
I want you to come back.
I want to see how it's going, and then but we've got to get this quiet foundation set up. And what a lot of the training that we all think we need to do, they just, when their mind is quiet and they're thinking rationally, they're just sort of going to pick up the habits of the house, and you're going to see that he's going to be more cooperative and more responsive to you because he's going to be able to hear you. So we'll get our calendars together in just a minute, and
because like when you came in, when someone comes in, I try to make him, but he's so excited when he sees someone that he's just right. He can't hear me.
He can't hear you. And it's not that he's ignoring you or giving you a hard time. He's having a hard time because his thinking is above a 10. So he's, when you've got that much, like, you're going to have, remember I said thinking creates emotions, creates reactions. Well, his reaction is all over the place.
You're right. Mommy's here.
He doesn't even want to get up now. Another big sigh. Big release. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off.
Oh, this has been wonderful. Perfect.